I was already holding the envelope when I understood my marriage was over, not because of what was written inside, but because of how carefully it had been hidden. Thin cream paper, her handwriting, not rushed, not guilty, intimate, practiced. This wasn't a mistake. This was a life she had rehearsed without me. I stood in our bedroom, the one we painted together, the one where she used to fall asleep on my chest. My hands didn't shake. That surprised me. I thought betrayal would feel loud, violent. It didn't. It felt precise. We weren't reckless lovers when we met. We were deliberate. She liked my discipline. I admired her ambition. We spoke about futures before we spoke about feelings. That should have warned me. We built slowly. Mortgage, shared routines, Sunday breakfasts that felt earned. She used to say I made her feel safe. I believed that was love. I funded her graduate degree, rearranged my schedule around her promotions. I became the background so she could be the picture, and I was proud of it. That's the part people misunderstand. Men like me don't explode when betrayed. We inventory. There were 9 of them, tucked inside a box labeled old receipts. She never imagined I'd look there. Every letter was dated, every word intentional. She wrote about how alive she felt, how he understood her fire, how she stayed with me because I was stable, not inspiring. One line stayed with me. One day I'll choose happiness over comfort. I folded the letters back exactly as I found them. Then I sat down and made a list. Divorce wasn't the plan yet. Clarity was. I didn't confront her. That's what she would have expected. Instead, I watched. I noted how often she smiled at her phone, how her work trips increased, how she showered immediately after coming home late. I hired a forensic accountant before I hired a lawyer. I mirrored her behavior, busier, distracted, distant, not cold, neutral. Neutrality unsettles liars. I backed up our finances, screenshotted messages synced to the cloud she forgot about, tracked patterns, dates, locations. 7 weeks later, I knew everything. I ended the marriage on a Tuesday. No yelling, no tears. I slid the letters across the table while she drank her coffee. She went pale, then defensive, then quiet. She tried to apologize in paragraphs. I responded in sentences. I know, I'm done. My lawyer will contact yours. She moved out within the month, told mutual friends it was mutual. I didn't correct her. Revenge rushed is sloppy. I had time. The lesson came disguised as coincidence. I ran into her former lover at a charity networking event. He didn't recognize me. I recognized him instantly. Same confident posture, same careless grin, same man who had signed his emails to her with "always yours." He was drunk enough to talk. He bragged about his new venture, about how he'd escaped a toxic situation, about a woman who expected commitment when the fun was supposed to stay fun. He laughed. She thought she was special, he said. I smiled. That night I learned the truth. I wasn't the only man she betrayed. I was just the only one who loved her enough to be useful. Her affair partner was financially exposed, over-leveraged, arrogant. He built his empire on borrowed credibility. I didn't need to touch him directly. I just needed to remove his mask. Through shell companies and quiet introductions, I positioned myself where his funding flowed. I let him pitch to me without knowing who I was. I asked questions he couldn't answer, requested documents he couldn't provide, delayed decisions just long enough for rumors to breathe. Capital dries fast when doubt enters the room. I invited my ex-wife to lunch, neutral ground, glass walls, public enough to keep her honest. She arrived guarded, curious, still beautiful, still unreadable. I slid a folder across the table. Inside were financial records, legal filings, his lies documented cleanly and coldly. She didn't speak for a long time. Then, "Why are you showing me this?" I met her eyes, calm, centered. "Because you chose him," I said, "and he chose himself." She finally understood, not the betrayal, the cost. Within 3 months, his investors withdrew, his partners distanced themselves. Lawsuits followed. He tried to call her, she ignored him. She tried to call me, I declined. I watched from a distance as everything collapsed exactly as predicted. Not out of cruelty, out of alignment. Consequences don't require anger, they require patience. I don't hate my ex-wife. Hate implies attachment. What I feel is resolution. She wanted passion without accountability. He wanted admiration without responsibility. They found each other. I found myself. The letters are gone now, burned, not as a ritual, as maintenance. Betrayal taught me something I should have learned earlier. Love isn't proven by sacrifice. It's proven by loyalty when no one is watching. I rose quietly. They fell loudly.